My son stood up during dinner and shouted that I had to accept his wife as my business partner or I would no longer be his father. Everyone at the table went silent. His wife smiled because she thought she had finally won, but she had no idea that I already knew what she had been hiding. I looked directly into her eyes and said one sentence that changed everything. Within minutes, nobody was looking at me the same way again. The dinner was supposed to be a celebration. My son Daniel had invited the entire family because he wanted to announce a new business partnership with his wife Victoria. I had spent years building my company from nothing. When Daniel was young, I paid for his education, helped him buy his first car, and even gave him money when he started his business. I never expected anything in return. But that night, everything changed. Daniel stood at the end of the table and said, "Dad, Victoria is going to become my business partner. You need to accept her. If you refuse, then you are no longer my father." I could hardly believe what I was hearing. Victoria looked at me with a confident smile. She knew Daniel would defend her no matter what I said. Everyone around the table stared at me, waiting for an argument. Instead, I stood up quietly. I walked toward Victoria and stopped beside her chair. She smiled again, as if she already knew I was going to surrender. Then I looked her directly in the eyes and said one sentence. "If you are truly my son's partner, then you will have no problem explaining where the missing company money went." The smile disappeared from her face. Daniel immediately asked what I was talking about. I placed a folder on the table. Inside were bank records, invoices, and company documents that I had quietly reviewed for weeks. Several payments had been transferred from the company account to a private account connected to Victoria. The room became completely silent. Victoria tried to explain that the transfers were temporary and that she planned to return the money. Then I opened the final document. It showed that she had also tried to change several company records without Daniel knowing. Daniel looked at his wife and asked if it was true. For the first time that evening, she had nothing to say. I told my son that I never wanted to control his marriage. I only wanted him to understand the difference between supporting someone and ignoring the truth. Daniel lowered his head. Then he finally understood why I had refused to sign the partnership agreement. I had not been trying to destroy his marriage. I had been trying to protect his future. The same son who had threatened to stop calling me his father suddenly walked across the room and apologized. But I told him something he would never forget. A father can forgive his son for being angry, but a father should never lie to his son just to keep the peace. That night, Daniel realized that the person he thought was standing in his way was actually the person standing between him and a much bigger mist. Sometimes the strongest response to betrayal is not shouting back. It is staying calm until the truth speaks for itself. Daniel thought his father was trying to control his life. In the end, he discovered that his father had been protecting him all along. And Victoria learned that confidence means nothing when the truth is sitting inside a folder on the table. If you believe families should be built on honesty and not manipulation, subscribe to the channel. Share this story with someone who needs to hear it and comment below. What would you have done if you were the father?